Who are you and what exactly do you do?
Well, I happen to be an elected official, but I think the thing that informs who I am the most is that I am my mother's child. And, my mother, may she rest in peace, who was my shero, my bedrock, my foundation. She raised me alone. She fought to make sure that I would never be deprived or denied anything. I do this work to honor her and to honor all the families like mine. I'm a fighter. I know what it is to feel like it's you versus the rest of the world, as if government does not speak for you, does not look like you, does not advocate for you, does not fight for you. And that's what I do every day. My mom raised me alone. My father, he's clean now, but at the time he was struggling with drugs. He was in and out of jail in our lives, and it created incredible stress and trauma and dysfunction in our lives. And I know that my story is the story for many, many people. And those are the people that I'm fighting for every day. It's just so ingrained in my life sort of experience and my memory of me that it's hard to divorce myself. I would say, first and foremost, my mother was a community organizer. She worked with the Urban League of Chicago, and she was very active in our church and also in our neighborhood. And so she demonstrated to me early on the power of organizing, and that we all had a right to fight for better jobs and better housing and better schools. And so that informed a lot in my consciousness. And then, so that was sort of the power of community mobilization, and that nothing was going to be given to us, that we had to fight for it. And then my mother always took me with her to vote. And so that for me really planted the seeds of sort of civic engagement. I've never been cynical about government. I always saw it as an entity with which could make a real difference in the lives of people. Early in my life, I decided that I wanted to pursue public service. And I haven't regretted it for one moment. So I've been really doing this my whole life. I did my first campaign when I was 10 years old, campaigning for a man named Harold Washington, who went on to become the first black mayor for the city of Chicago. So I've not only been a part of community mobilization for as far back as I could remember. My mother actually, when she was carrying me, I participated in protest marches and the like. So this is just a part of my DNA. This isn't a job. This is a way of life. This is my life's work. It is my life's mission. I might even consider it its own form of ministry, because this is the vehicle whereby I choose to clothe the naked and feed the hungry and house the homeless. And so because this is not a job and because it is my life's work, that means it is often never ending. So I work 7 days a week, often 60, 80-hour weeks. I don't stop because the need doesn't stop. Someone is always in need of some intervention, some support to get their lights turned back on, to make sure there's food on the table, that their home isn't foreclosed on, or they're not evicted from their home, or they're not being abused or exploited or neglected in some way. So because the need doesn't stop, the work doesn't stop. But I'm okay with that. That's what I signed up for. And I really consider it a humbling honor that the people of the city of Boston have entrusted me with the opportunity to do this work, and to really strive to actualize my values every day, and to make sure that the city of Boston is a city that works for every family. I never want to be considered a politician. I think that has a very negative connotation. It sounds incredibly self-serving and self-advancing. What I'd like to be described as is an advocate. And everything I learned about advocacy, I learned from my mother. So I would like to be remembered as an advocate. Shirley Chisholm, who's a black woman who ran for the presidency in 1972, who is a political shero and great influencer in my life. She was asked how she would like to be remembered. And she said she did not want to be remembered for being the first black woman to serve as a U.S. Congresswoman, which she was. She did not want to be remembered as the first black woman to run for the U.S. presidency, which she was. She simply wanted to be remembered as a black woman who dared to be herself. And that's what I would like. No apologies for being me.